could self-hosted, open-source digital assistants help us co-create a world in which technology actually works for the people using it? In this video, I'm going to make the case that we cannot wait for big tech companies or governments to solve the problems our world is facing today. Instead, we have to take back our power and co-create a future in which everyone can thrive. But before I start, I would like to introduce myself. So, my name is Agnes, and I'm a writer, artist, and most recently tech co-founder and digital autonomy activist. Having lived in 6 countries and traveled many more, I now live in a Brazilian fisherman village, and I'm happier than ever. But luckily, I'm not the only one in the mix. By the way, that's my boat. I'm part of an international team of interdisciplinary people all over the world, and together we have been working on what, in my opinion at least, are some of the most pressing problems of our times. But before I go into the solution that we're proposing, I'm going to map out a few of the problems that we're trying to solve. So, we've all experienced and witnessed how technology has transformed almost everything, whether it's our communication, our sense of identity, or even our understanding of truth. We have also witnessed the creation of a new world order, wherein a few big tech companies like Facebook, Google, Amazon have become the intermediaries for almost all our daily interactions. Now, there are several other issues connected to this, whether it's the addictive design of the technologies we use, or if it's the filter bubbles that basically give us a very, let's say, selective view of the reality around us, whether it's the mass surveillance and data collection that is being conducted by a few very powerful companies and governments, or whether it's the colonization of digital space by a few, mostly American and also some Chinese companies. I could name many other things, but let's just say there's a lot to wrap our heads around, and to be honest, I'm not surprised that most of us find ourselves in a constant state of overwhelm. Unfortunately, we don't have the luxury to hide ourselves in a cave and just wait it out. Instead, we have to accept that we live in truly groundbreaking times, and we must do our part to co-create a future that we would be proud to hand over to our children and children's children. So, as I was doing my research into this topic, I've heard many thought leaders say that tech companies and governments must implement the changes that we need to see. But let's be honest to ourselves. First of all, tech companies have been getting away with all of the above for way too long. And secondly, they don't really have an interest in making a change. After all, they're making a lot of money, right? Thirdly, governments, even if their intentions are good, because the tech space is moving so fast, by the time a new regulation is made, the technology has already moved on to a new phase. So governments, even if they're well-intentioned, are always going to play catch-up to our new fast-changing times. So what does this mean? It means that all of us need to start taking responsibility for the future that we're creating, and we can do that in small ways, by the way we use technology in our day-to-day, by the small decisions we make in how we use our phones and how we use our laptops as well, but also in actually becoming involved in co-creating and asking for technologies that actually work for us. There is no reason why, for example, technology has to be addictive. There's no reason why technology has to collect all our data. There's no reason for many of the things that we have gotten used to, right? So my point is that we need to kind of liberate our minds and almost decolonize them and start understanding that technology is a human-created thing. So it means that because it's human-created, there's actually a choice in how we design it, in how we use it. At the moment, most of these choices are being made by a few people in Silicon Valley. And it's just important to understand that these are not democratically elected leaders, and in many cases, these guys, they have very little to do with us. They have very little to do with, for example, a Brazilian fisherman, and yet a Brazilian fisherman here in Florianopolis is using Facebook, Instagram, Google, and so on. So they will make these platforms useful, and they will make sure that users keep using them, but it's really important to understand that the goal behind Google, Amazon, Facebook, Instagram, all these big tech companies, it's to make money. And again, it's not to paint them as evil, it's just to understand the system works like this, you know, they take on VC investing, and the expectation is to pay that money back manifold. So they actually don't really have a choice but to create a system that in the end of the way serves them, right? So it's really important to understand Instagram is not working for you, Facebook is not working for you. Actually, when you are using Instagram, when you're putting a picture on Instagram, even if it's like your friend's barbecue and it's not even for any content creation purposes, Instagram's going to put an ad next to that, so Instagram will be making money off that. So it's maybe an obvious thing to say, but I think it's really important to kind of remember that. So just to remember that all these technologies we use, they're not neutral. They're made to keep us using them more, they're made to collect our data, and they're made to make money. So as you can probably see, it's getting darker. I'm going to try and finish this video anyway. So the question is, what should we do, right? So I believe that it's naive to wait for big tech companies or governments to change for themselves. This is just something we have to accept. I also believe that actually we have a lot more power than we think. So because all these technologies have been created a certain way, does not mean that we have to continue these kind of dynamics. And the really good news is that because of new technologies in the field of large language models, think ChatGPT for example, have shown us that there is a new technological revolution coming. Now, the potential of this is that we actually start to use this next wave of technological evolution not to repeat some of the patterns we've seen in the past and take back our power when it comes to technology. So in our case, so my team and I, we have started developing a self-hosted digital assistant with the goal of creating a technology that actually helps you take back your power when it comes to your relationship with technology. So what is a self-hosted open source digital assistant? You can kind of imagine it, you know, like the movie Her. So it's a technology saved on your phone or device that works for you. So imagine it like having an assistant that like you can talk to it like to a human, but it's like obviously connected to the internet, and it's also been trained on specific data sets. So it has a kind of integral intelligence as well. And the difference of this type of digital assistant to maybe what one of these companies like Microsoft, Google, might be creating in the future is that it's actually saved on your device and it actually works for you, so it belongs to you. It's the difference between having an assistant who is actually working for somebody else and just kind of uses the work he or she does for you to like find out information and pass it on to someone else, to having an assistant who is actually working for you. So this is what we're developing right now, and we're super curious what you guys think about this idea. We actually already started creating an email assistant, which already helps you send emails at scale. I will be making another video about that one, but I would be really curious to know what you guys think about what I just said, and what kind of solutions you believe we need to find when it comes to the next phase of technological revolution.